Hey there, let's jump right into this explainer. If you've ever felt completely overwhelmed by personal finance, trust me, you are not alone. And if you're just starting out on your financial journey, well, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're laying out a step-by-step beginner's guide to architecting your own abundance. We're going to break down the core habits, the real difference makers, that separate folks who consistently build wealth from those who, well, don't. And the best part, the path to financial success is actually way more accessible than you might think. You absolutely do not need a genius intellect or some massive trust fund. You really just need a plan. Seriously, have you ever wondered why some people still struggle financially even when they're pulling in a really great income? We see it all the time, right? People making a fantastic living, maybe getting those regular promotions, but somehow they're still totally stressed out about money, still trapped in that paycheck to paycheck cycle. It's super frustrating for beginners because it feels completely counterintuitive. You think, hey, big salary equals financial success, right? But the source material we're looking at today reveals a pretty stark truth. A big paycheck alone doesn't build wealth. So if it's not just the size of the check, what exactly is the missing ingredient?
Well, the answer really boils down to a simple contrast. On one side, we have luck. Luck is by definition random. It's fleeting, and it's completely out of your control. We kind of have this tendency to think of wealth as just striking it rich, hitting the jackpot. But get this, studies actually show a massive percentage of lottery winners eventually go completely bankrupt. Crazy, right? Why? Because a sudden windfall without the right framework behind it just vanishes. On the flip side, we have habits. Habits are consistent, and more importantly, they are 100% within your control. Building wealth is not about getting lucky. The difference between those who build lasting wealth and those who struggle, it almost always comes down to establishing consistent financial habits. It's like laying bricks. One single brick doesn't look like much, but if you lay them consistently, day after day, eventually you've built yourself a fortress.
So that brings us to Section 1, the secret to wealth. Moving right along to Section 2, laying your financial foundation. Look, before you can build a financial skyscraper, you've got to pour a rock-solid base. Step 1 is making the conscious, deliberate choice to live below your means. Now hold on, this isn't about depriving yourself or eating ramen every single night. It's actually about prioritizing your long-term freedom over short-term instant gratification. A great framework for this is the 50-30-20 rule. 50% for your needs, 30% for your wants, and 20% dedicated to your financial future. But how do you actually ensure you're living below your means? Well, that's step 2, giving every single dollar a job by creating a budget. A really popular method is zero-based budgeting. That's where your income minus your expenses literally equals zero at the end of the month. Every single dollar is accounted for. And I know the word budget sounds restrictive, but it isn't a restriction at all. It's a map. By using it, you are dictating exactly where your money goes, instead of getting to the end of the month and wondering where it all went.
All right, let's look at Section 3, paying yourself first.
Okay, so once your foundation is set, you're living below your means, you've got your budget working, it's time to shift gears. We're moving from playing financial defense to playing financial offense. To do that, you've got to shift your mindset. Our source material puts it beautifully. You need to treat saving like a non-negotiable monthly expense. Think about that for a second. This is a total reframe of how most beginners handle money. Usually saving is just an afterthought, right? It's whatever happens to be left over at the end of the month, which, let's be real, is often nothing. But this habit makes saving a mandatory priority. The absolute best way to actually pull this off? Automate it. Just set up an automatic transfer from your checking to your savings the exact day your paycheck hits. Just like you wouldn't randomly skip paying your rent, you never ever skip paying your future self. Next up, Section 4, growing your money. Here's the thing. Saving alone won't build massive wealth. It's great, but it really just protects what you already have. To truly scale up, we have to leverage compound returns. Simply put, this is the process where your invested money actually grows over time. When you invest, your money earns a return. But then those returns earn their own returns. Think of it like a snowball rolling down a really long snow-covered hill, picking up speed and getting bigger and bigger. To put the staggering math of this into perspective, let's say you start investing just $200 a month at age 20. Assuming an average historical market return, you could literally have over $1 million by the time you're 65. But if you wait until age 30 to start investing that exact same $200 a month, you'll end up with less than half of that. Mind-blowing, right? That is the absolute magic of compound returns. It aggressively accelerates your wealth creation and is the true engine that drives your financial abundance forward. Now onto Section 5, the long-term mindset. Having the right mechanics in place is absolutely essential, but to protect all that amazing progress you're making, you have to adopt a mindset of long-term endurance. Think about it this way. Wealth creation builds incredible forward momentum, right? But high-interest debt,
That is a massive, incredibly heavy anchor dragging you straight backward. Financially successful people deeply understand that they must avoid bad debt at all costs. The math here is just brutal. Say the stock market gives you a really optimistic 10% return on your investments. Great. But if your credit card company is charging you 25% interest on a balance you're carrying month to month, you are losing money every single day. You literally cannot out-invest high-interest debt. It actively eats away at the very money that should be compounding and working for you. If you want to keep moving forward, you have to cut that anchor. Alongside avoiding that bad debt, you've got to remember that financial education is a lifelong process. The financially successful folks out there, they don't just set up a budget once, pat themselves on the back, and check out entirely. The world of money, business, and investing is incredibly dynamic. So they make a constant, ongoing choice to keep learning. And hey, this doesn't have to be overwhelming at all. You definitely do not need a fancy finance degree. A super actionable way to start is just dedicating, say, 15 minutes a week. Read a chapter of a personal finance book, listen to an explainer just like this one, or simply scan an article about market trends. By committing to being a lifelong learner in these small, bite-sized chunks, you continuously empower yourself to make smarter and smarter choices as your wealth inevitably grows. Finally, we arrive at the habit of remaining patient. Real wealth is built over years, not overnight. And honestly, this is arguably the hardest habit to master today. We live in a world obsessed with instant gratification, one-click ordering, instant streaming, immediate notifications. We want it all, and we want it right now. But true abundance doesn't work on prime delivery speeds. It absolutely requires a long-term perspective. Look, there will be market downturns. There will be unexpected expenses. There will be times when it feels like your progress is moving at an absolute snail's pace. During those moments, you have to trust the process. You got to stick to your automated habits and just allow time to do its heavy lifting.
So let's quickly recap this blueprint. 1. Live below your means to create a gap between what you earn and what you spend. 2. Give every single dollar a job with a solid budget. 3. Prioritize saving by making it a non-negotiable automated expense. 4. Invest regularly to capture that amazing snowball effect of compound returns. 5. Keep expanding your financial education, even if it's literally just 15 minutes a week. 6. Avoid the massive anchor of high-interest bad debt. And 7. Think long-term and remain patient. These 7 steps, they are beautifully simple. But make no mistake, their impact is absolutely life-changing. Repeating these small, smart choices consistently is, without a doubt, the most valuable investment you will ever make in yourself.
I want to wrap up our explainer today with a bit of a challenge for you. Knowing that wealth isn't about getting lucky, but rather just a series of deliberate, controllable habits, what small, smart choice are you going to make today? You don't have to overhaul your entire life by tomorrow morning. Maybe today is the day you simply write out your very first zero-based budget. Or actually, maybe it's the day you finally set up that automatic transfer to your savings account so you literally never have to think about it again. Whatever it is, just take that first step. Architecting your abundance starts right now with one simple choice. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.